Please confirm. Somebody can confirm. Huh. So this is, I'll give you background about this.
Yes, sir, visible, audible, sir.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. So I'll give you background about this. This is something called azolla. Azolla is a plant. It's a small, micro plant that grows floating on the water, and this is considered as like growth promoter or booster to animals. Especially milching animals like cows, buffaloes, and very nutritionally, nutritional supplement to poultry and fishes. So fish industry, poultry industry, poultry includes fish and geese, okay, and dairy industry that includes cows, buffaloes, goat, and sheep, and camels. Of course, here camels are very less, but camels are also included, and yak. So these are the these animals consume this azolla on a day-to-day basis, like every day 1 kg, 2 kg, which is claimed to improve 15 to 20% of the milk output. Okay, so nowadays what is happening? We are feeding busa, or we are feeding mineral supplement and vitamin supplement to the cows and cattle. That is around 30-35 rupees is kilo. Okay, with subsidy it is coming down to like 25 to 22, like that. So azolla is a alternative to these things, where your cost of the product would be not more than 15 rupees for the same nutritional benefit, and any farmer can grow. But growing at farm level is very less. For one cow, you need just 2 kgs. That is not industry. But if somebody wants to set up industry like one acre or 2 acres, producing like 5 to 10 tons per day, that is an industry. Okay. So this detailed project report, calculations. This is one way of doing it. So first you do assumptions. So this particular sheet talks about basic assumptions. So first assumption is it's a bed. A bed means basically a rectangular platform with which is having a polypropylene or plastic sheet below. In it, it's like a small tank, but tank height is just 1 feet. So that is called bed. So this bed size, how many beds you need? 100 beds you need, right? I mean, these are assumptions. So size of each bed is 500 square feet. So total area of beds is 50,000 square feet. Okay, and total area of beds occupied in terms of acreage, 1.1 acre. And it is given in scientific literature that this particular plant, azolla, grows per square feet 0.03 kgs, means per square feet 30 grams. So yield per day, if I grow azolla in 50,000 square feet, what is the yield? This much. So here it is. Okay, like that you can go. And total yield per year is 1,500 into 300. Why not 365 days? Why I put 300 days? Because 65 days I keep it as a buffer, holidays or cleaning or maintenance. So many things will be there. So give and take, let me run my industry only for 300 days. So 65 days I'll give a gap. It need not be continuous gap. It could be gaps like here and there, sprinkled throughout the year. So this is how you assume. Then cost of azolla 10 rupees per kilo. So that is what in the market is. So I put it that. So total turnover per day is 15,000 rupees. But like that, total turnover per year is 45 lakhs. So this is a basic assumption. On with this assumption we will go. How did you arrive at this assumption? Because bed size I will decide how much bed I need, right? As a grower, and how much azolla is grown per square feet, it is not in my hands. That is a plant's nature. Per square feet, it will only grow 30 grams. That I cannot change anything. So there are certain things which are variables, certain things that are constants. Constants you cannot do anything. And costing 10 rupees. How did I get the pricing 10 rupees? Because I know it is in the market. People are already selling at 10 rupees. Or if nobody is selling at 10 rupees, then I should decide how much I should sell. One thing, what will, how would I decide how much we have invested in producing 1 kg of Azola in terms of manpower, resources, time, electricity, water. You might have to calculate everything and arrive at particular number. Say, for example, 4 rupees is what I spent in cultivating Azola. Now, how much should I put it at MRP? Then again, I have to spend money on distribution, packaging, transport. That is a post-harvesting investment I am going to put. So maybe another 2 rupees. So 6 rupees. So I should at least get 10 rupees. So I should put it at 10 rupees or 12 rupees per kilo. Then only I'll be able to, make profitability side. Say, for example, another way of looking at it is, I already told you Azola is used by milk owners or milk producers for their cattle. So already they are getting a product in the market which is 22 rupees kilo. Now, if you want to replace that with the same kind of benefits, either it should be matching to the same pricing or it should be less. And people don't buy if it is matching, because already I'm used to some variety. I'm comfortable with that. The moment you introduce new thing, people expect some incentives in terms of discount for them to change the habit, right? If you want anybody to change the habit, you incentivize. There are two things. One is you incentivize or you penalize. Only these are the two things that will push people to change their habits, right? So here you have to incentivize how you have to put the pricing much lesser than the existing cost in the market. So 22 rupees is what existing dana or feed cost. I have to put it at 15 or 16 rupees. So as per the market, I am there is a scope that I can sell it at 15 to 16 rupees. As per the production, with the profit estimate, I have a scope of putting at 10 rupees. So I have a bandwidth between 10 rupees to 15-16 rupees to play around. So that's how you derive at particular pricing, right? Then that's the summary. That's how we assume things. Fine. Then we'll go. What all expenditures we have? First expenditure, fixed assets. So what are all fixed assets? Means one-time investment you need. So we need beds, we need shade net, bricks, trolley, tank, water pipes, weighing scale, crates, drying mesh, pelletizer, then pulverizer and iron wooden poles. So activities we have, how many units you need to buy, and how do you calculate the pricing? So it's available in the internet, or you see there is nothing that which is not available in the internet. One thing. Second thing is, if you are in a metropolitan or towns, you can inquire from the supplier. Okay, Azola bed, I know who is the supplier. So I call that guy and ask what is the pricing. I'll ask 3-4 different people. I asked someone in Coimbatore. I asked someone in Kolhapur. I asked someone in Rajkot. So I calculated the pricing and put it here. Bricks. Everybody knows what is the price of bricks. So you don't need anything much, right? Then this is all fixed assets you have put it, right? Okay. Then you'll go for recurring. One recurring thing is your raw material. So I need red soil, I need cattle dung, I need mineral mix, I need superphosphate, I need fresh azola, I need hydrochloric acid. No, don't worry about the technicalities. For this industry, these are the raw materials. Water. I even costed water also here. And paddy straw, okay, and jaggery or molasses, antifungal agents, electricity, and PP sacks, polypropylene sacks. So these are the materials I need. So I calculated and it has come something like 25 lakhs. Okay. Next. HR. Whether you do IT industry or medical industry or simple farming, HR is a HR. It's a fancy to call it HR, otherwise you call it manpower, right? So what we need is, we need at least one supervisor and we need 4 field workers. I need one guy from marketing side, digital marketing, offline marketing, some marketing we need. So I have put them cost. For laborers, we put daily cost, labor wage, 300 rupees. I put it. If you want to put it 400, you put it. If you want to put 200, you put it. So you see whether they'll come for that pricing or not. That also you have to see. You need part-time or full-time. That also you can calculate and keep it, right? So this is for one client. I asked the client what is the labor charges in that particular town, and he found out and told me it is 300 rupees. So that is where I have put 300. Okay. As per Narega scheme, it is like 215 rupees or something they give. Then this is other expenses. What are other expenses you might incur? See, depreciation is one thing. I'm not expert. People who are in management sector are in this workshop, right? So you can tell me if I go wrong, because I'm a scientist. This is and all we have learned, because we need to teach the same thing to startups. So depreciation value of any commodity, any item, any asset will vary based on its life. So some will have 5 years depreciation, some will have 7 years, some will have 3 years. So I just put it here 18%, which means that it's like around 5 years or 6 years, because I saw the label on the bed that they say the life of this particular bed is 7 years. So I just based on that I did it. Then interest and term loan, 13% I put it, because I inquired from the local bank what is the term loan interest you can give. So 13% they said, I put it. So you always put it little higher, no problem. 1 or 2% high. Then interest and working capital 5%. Even it could vary. This is 5% because some agriculture department was ready to give, but otherwise this also will be nothing less than 12%. Then office and admin expenses, then promotion and sales. So typically I take it 5%. If you have more aggressive sales promotions you want to do it, you have to make it 7 to 8%, no problem. So I hope till now you got some this. Then cost benefit analysis. So this is totally an assumption, presuming that the values which I have furnished below are correct, and annual growth every year. Suppose I set up an industry in first year, you will not have 100% output in the first year, definitely, for the simple reason, while setting up you have a lot of problems, raw material problem, labor problem, because you are the first timer. You will have some issues in setting up, or some sampling errors will go, all those things. So I have taken only 80%. If you see some DPRs, they even start with 60%. So it's all basically with the existing knowledge. Then next year you grow 90, third year you grow 100, like that. So installed capacity is this much. So that is a total for 1.15 acre. I can maximum get this much, 4.5 lakh kgs per year. What all you do, you will not be able to get beyond that. Okay, so you cannot hike beyond that. So 80%, and then you calculate production sales based on the efficiency. Then I put selling price 16 rupees here. Okay. Then sales value. So selling price into total product is sales value total for year. Then I have a lot of expenses, raw material expenses, manpower expenses, repairs and maintenance. I added some 20,000. Depreciation I have added on sales and administration cost, interest and term loan. If it is there, you put it. If it is not there, you leave it. Then profit total you get it. So total is nothing, and profit. Then total expenses this. Profit before tax is total expenditure minus sales. Sorry, sales minus total expenditure. Okay. Then you get it. Then you can make a provision for tax if your item is taxable item. If it is tomato, potato, you don't have tax. If it is handicraft, there is a tax. If it is a service, there is a tax. If it is a food processing, thing is a 5% tax. So what is that you are doing? So food, this is a packed food. So what I am doing is it's basically as such, if I sell, it is a tax free, but I will be processing it. So that comes under food processing industry. So processing industry invites 5% GST. So I deducted that. So total profit I would get is somewhere 18 lakhs. So next year it will be 24. Then it will be 23. Why it became 23? It should be more. No. What I did here, once I start an industry, it will be known to everyone. People will come to know. So they'll also start, right? So everybody will start. Okay, that guy is making money. Let me also do. So you will have a competition. So during that competition, the one thing you do is you give a discounting. Loyal customers will not move away. But if you want to acquire new customers, if you want customers to stay with you, you have to give away some money, some incentivization. That is 1 rupee less I did it. So like that, and your expenses also will go up annually. Every year, 5 to 10% your expenses will go up, assuming that your inflation is going up, right? If sometimes government gives some exemption, like suddenly all plastic materials, tax is reduced from 18% to 5%. 12% discount, so 13% discount you are getting in terms of tax. So only in such cases, your expenses will come down. But otherwise, typically, as the raw materials and the assets values are going up, and your depreciation value is also increasing, right, year on year. So your expenses will be automatically going up. So you have to keep that in mind. So first few years only you should be able to extract as much as possible. I mean, I don't mean to say exploit, but try to gain as much as possible in the initial years, reasonably. Okay. So this is called cost benefit analysis. Next, cash flow analysis. So I think Mr. Ratnakar was talking about IRR, internal rate of returns, and break-even point, and net present value. So each one is required for one different. See, net present value is required for people who are doing valuation of your company. Break-even point is required for the banking sector. They'll be looking at where you will be able to get no profit, no loss, how quick you can get to that point. Tilting point where your profit and you are not at a profit, you are not at a loss, or you are at neutral. Okay. And how far your internal rate of returns will be there, means how fast you can get your money back. So these are the some indicators. So there are so many indicators are there. I think Anita can add a few more indicators. Okay, but typically bank will look at break-even point, investors will look at NPV, and both will look at IRR. Then there is another calculation. Okay, EBITDA. So earnings before tax, interest, depreciation, and amortization. So this is another parameter of calculation. So this is how you do your investment analysis. So even you can do a lot of graphs year on year how it will grow. And I have not gone into too many products diversification, because it's only one product. I have made only 3 diversifications here: fresh azolla, drug azolla, azolla pellets. So what I am doing here is value addition. So here the cost is 10 rupees. And the pellet cost is 15 rupees. Dry azolla cost is 120 rupees. So this is what. Then you are talking about return on investments. I think I missed it. Sorry. Here only we have return on investments. Here it is. So return on investments. How quickly you can get? So I get 100% returns in 5 years. If everything goes, if all the prices and if returns are going as per this particular plan, then I'll be able to get in 5 years. Otherwise, this might change. Okay. Next is based on the shareholding pattern, what are the returns? A promoter is investing 97%, somebody is investing 3%. What is the returns? Okay. Of course, this was a calculation I made it for some, there was one guy who was comparing investment with banking. What if I do, why should somebody put this much money? Why can't I put the same amount in the bank and get the money? So I just did a small rough calculation to him. If you put, even if a bank or somebody gives 14% interest and you total investment, you put 51 lakhs, at the end of, compounded interest, you will get only like total 76 lakhs or something you get it. So gain on investment is just 22.4 lakhs. But here the gain on investment after 5 years is 100%. You're just 43 or 44% here, 100%. Of course, there is a risk here. For that risk only, you are getting this much. Startup, you should always remember, startup is high risk, high reward. That's all. The more the risk it is, the more rewarding you get. Okay, this is one thing, one way of doing investment plan. So this is very much important for you to understand how to invest, how to plan your business. And I will share you one more. And I have made it little simplified. If somebody can use this also. Here it is. This we have done it for aloe vera. Some girl wanted to extract aloe vera fiber. She wanted to extract aloe vera fiber and make textiles out of it. So here it is again capital investment. We have made a list of equipment and required to do the process. First, we need to understand what is the process. So based on the process, we will know what kind of materials, machines you need. So you take a costing of that. Then raw materials. So you need sisal leaves. Sisal is another aloe vera variety, big ones. So how many units you need? What is the cost? And the total expenditure per year. Then dyes, natural dyes, all those things. Then manpower, unskilled, skilled, and supervisor and managerial level. Then electricity, and we are doing cost per unit. How did you calculate 25 units? Somebody can ask. I'll simply say that you have this machinery, and each machinery will have its own HP value. So there are online calculators where you can go and calculate what is the units it can consume if I run that machine for 10 hours. Okay. So total number of machineries are there, their HP values, and you can convert them into kilowatt hours. Kilowatt hour is nothing but again units. So which state you are located in? Tamil Nadu, Andhra, Karnataka, or Jharkhand, wherever. So each state has its own electricity bill. For industry, less than 100 units, this much, more than 100 or less than 200 is this much, like that. So you get that data and multiply that. So in Andhra, it is 11 rupees. I cost it per day and per year. And water 500 liters, I added 40 paisa, just assuming that I'll be using mineral water per liter. Okay. Higher contingency. Contingency is, she told, no, it is something which you have not expected, but the expenditure has come for that. Normally, 10% of the total project cost, we'll put it for contingency, but it's up to you. Then shed, you need civil work, you need to add civil work. That is also capital expenditure, but it's a different little. That comes under civil work. Another is machinery. And total project cost, non-recurring and recurring. So non-recurring means it is single-time investment. You all know, most of your professors and principals, it's a single-time investment, and recurring is every year or every day you get the expenses, right? Now this is all fine. That's all straightforward value. Nothing assumptions here. But here the assumption happens. Fiber. What is the first product that I get? Fiber. Second product I get is pulp from this unit. So first product, if I put 5 machines and run for 10 hours, it can produce about 4% of the fiber. Means the efficiency of that fiber is only 4%. If I put 100 kgs of the initial leaf, I'll get only 4 kgs of the fiber. So per day, I'll get 110 kgs. And in the market, the fiber cost is 200 rupees. So total per day, per month, and annual. And again, I have put another thing. If a machine runs for 16 hours, this is another calculation. So it's assumption. Then pulp. So this is a secondary product. Pulp is not a primary product, secondary product. But in many industries, secondary product also equally gives income. You might be aware that rice mills, rice mills, what they do, they take paddy and they make rice and give. Okay, they get husk and they get bran. So husk is also sold, bran is also sold. So in fact, bran has a more value, and again it goes for a rice bran oil. Okay, so you have to consider the income from these two elements also. So same way here, pulp. So nearly 40% of the pseudo stem is pulp, which means that out of this 2750, 4% has gone, and remaining 40% is pulp, and remaining 54% goes waste. So pulp is 1100 kgs it will come per day, means 1.1 ton, 5 rupees per kilo. Why did I put 5 rupees and why did I put 200 here? Because in the market, if you go to India Mart or Trade India or any website, you might see sisal hemp fiber, you put it, the cost will come. And I also inquired from the market, open market, what is the cost. So some, people are saying 150, 200, 300. So on an averaging, I am taking 200. Okay. Then pulp. So pulp is 5 rupees because pulp has no, as such, no value unless you process it. So one processing they can do it is you can dry them and use it as a, fuel. I mean, for burning, like how they do sawdust. Second thing is somebody can buy for the composite material, raw material. Third one is you can simply use it for vermicomposting. So a minimum value I put 5 rupees. So this is the total turnover from product 1 and 2. Okay. Then cost benefit analysis I made it here. So again, same thing, 70% I put it, 90% I put it, 100% I put it. Right. So production sale value, you can multiply. Then second one is vermicompost. Say combined 1 and 2. What is my total annual turnover is 60 lakhs is what I get it. Okay. But that's not profit. Huh? So again, you have total expenses here. So if I minus my sales output and total expenditure, I am left with around 16 lakhs and tax goes. So 14 lakh rupees is what I get from this particular industry, right? Now here, this particular startup has already got some investment of 80%. Okay. Means the investor is ready to invest 80% of the total expenditure. So it's around 54 lakhs, no? So the investor is contributing around 43 lakhs, 80%, and remaining is promoter is contributing 10 lakhs. Now, how much each person will get? Let us see that assumption also we can see. If you see here, 100% equity, 46% is what the investor is asking, assumption that is, okay. And 51% is what the founders are having, means promoters. 3% I am taking, okay, incubation center for helping them out. So let us see. So this guy gets every year, this 100% is what? 100% means I put here profit. So profit divided by 100, okay. So this is what he gets at the end of 5 years. 2.3 or 2.3436 crore rupee is what total worth. Now 46% of this, he will get 1 crore. So if this guy is investing 43 lakhs, at the end of the 5 years, he'll get 1 crore, means double, 100% returns. Here, these people are putting 10 lakhs. How much are they getting? 1.2 crores. Now it might look, why investor are getting putting more and getting less, and startup is putting less and getting more. The investor is not doing any work other than putting money. Startup is doing so much of work, not only money. He's putting 10 lakhs plus he's doing manufacturing, sales, marketing, ideation. Basically, it is his idea. So you have to respect that. So that's how the deal happens. And why this 3%? Because I brought these two people together and helped them building their business for all those things. So this is what it is. Okay. So I hope, I made it very simple. No calculations under here. So this is what you get it. So this is where you can, in this way you can do your small feasibility study. So now, since it is profitable, I can call it feasible. At least as far as the assumptions are concerned. Now I will show you this. So here it is aloe vera gel. Somebody wants to do aloe vera gel. They went to bank with this particular project. Okay, you will write some introduction because the banker is a banker. He does not know what is aloe vera and why and all. So you have to write something. It is a oldest medicinal plant and it has got so many properties. All those things they are written, and it is called in different languages, different names. Then this you can download from Wikipedia and put it there. Okay, not a problem. So what are the different species of aloe vera? Then what are the products it contains which will give aloe vera the medicinal properties? Okay, how it is cultivated? What is a yield? A crop can be harvested 4 times a year at least. at the rate of 3 leaves cut from each plant. About 12 leaves are harvested per plant per year. So on an average, an acre, about 60,000 kgs of leaves will come. So that's their thing. Then aloe vera gel. Aloe vera gel is a colorless, odorless plant. I mean gel. It is a cosmetic, skincare, and pharmaceutical product application it has got. So these are the descriptions you write so that banker will understand or investor will understand. Then what is the market potential? So this is the data. Market potential is the data is nothing but market research. So you need to go to internet or you take the help of people who are into this industry and ask them, like what was the recent sales? 2009, what was it? The aloe vera market was around $110 billion. Okay, and see, you're registering a growth percentage of 30%, 35% yearly. This is called year-on-year growth. Year-on-year growth means this year what is the growth? Next year is what is the growth? Or if this year is 20% growth, next year it is 30% growth. It means that, and following year is 40% growth, which means that year-on-year it is growing at 10% rate. Which means that at the end of 10 years, it is 100% growth, means double. So here it is 35% is a yearly growth, which means that within 3.5 years, the growth will double, right? So this is what you can do it. And okay, benefits you can write. Here you can write what is the installed capacity. First thing, okay, 2000 kgs of aloe vera leaves per day is what he is going to do. So total input will be 600 tons per annum. So you have to calculate how many aloe vera plants will grow per acre, how many leaves you can cut from each leaf, how much of gel will come. Okay, so what is that you need? Machinery, primary leaf processing section. So that you need 5 lakhs. There is no machinery here. People have to sit there, clean it with water. So that's what it is. Then leaf washer, sorter, come cutting unit. Some specification is there.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, the slide you are explaining about aloe vera, but is there any slide related to aloe vera or some other slide is on the display, sir?
Okay. Oh, nobody has pointed
No,
out that.
from long time the same slide is coming. I thought that.
Sorry. Yeah, no.
No problem,
Now,
sir.
now you can
Just
see
reminder. Okay, sir. It's coming, sir. It's coming, sir.
aloe vera.
Yes, sir. It's
It's
coming.
not a slide. It is a document.
TFSC. Something
that
is
only.
TFSC.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
sir.
yes.
Thank you.
So I was talking about plant and machinery. So you need to get the quotation. So how do you get this money amount? You have to get the quotation from the seller or go to online websites. You get it. So then leaf conveyor and food grade conveyor. Okay. So that's around that much value. Then pulp extraction and juice section. That is first section. First section is what? Cleaning. Okay. Processing. Primary processing. This secondary processing where aloe vera pulp extractor, homogenizer. So they're there, like you don't have to get into details. Basically, what I mean to say is the machinery cost, how many machineries you need, and how much it is, 28 lakhs totally. Now you have to write about manufacturing process. What is going to happen? Cleaning the leaf, hand filleting each aloe leaf to separate the internal gel and leaving the leaf residue. So basically, you have to extract the gel, then collect that in a steel container, then take it to a mill where you have the sieve. So you pass it through a sieve. So then add a charcoal, then adjust the pH with using lime juice or something like that. Then you like that you have to write procedure. So autoclaving the sealed bottles, so that is what procedure is. Next, land and building. So land and building means what? How much you need processing. So you may need two kinds of land is separate, building is separate. Land you may need for storing the material, growing the material, or pre-processing the material, or keeping the waste or residues. And building is required for administration purpose and manufacturing purpose. Okay. So administration includes your tax, all those people are workers' quarters, or the restrooms, all those things. Processing unit includes the manufacturing unit. So the more the detail, it will be better. Then utilities. What utilities you have? Power. So 20 HP they need, and they need like 10,000 liters of water per day. Why you need all these things? Because when you are setting up an industry, your industry will be categorized And you need to take permission from power corporation, you need to take permission from water corporation, you need to take permission from many corporations. So power corporation, if they know what is your size of your electrical requirement, they have to set up that kind of distribution DP, in near your factory. So that is one thing. And why you need water consumption? Because water tax you have to pay, or you have to make certain. If a particular industry is using certain amount of water, then there is a rule that they have to set up a water harvesting unit. Okay. So if you go do all these things without that knowledge, then somebody will come and punish you. So that you can keep in mind. Of course, these are all available online in each state government departments, but it's good that you have to keep that in mind. It's not necessary that they should tell you. It is your responsibility to ensure that everything is in place. Then implementation schedule. This is a timeline. So after making arrangements for the finance, the project can be implemented in 6 months. They are simply written like that. But you make a table. Okay, finance these many months, land and building this many months, procurement of machinery this many months, installation this many weeks. Piloting. See, the moment you put a machinery, you will not get the product and sell it into the market. First 1 or 2 batches will go waste because standardizations have to be done, the adjustments have to be done, right? So for that you need to take 2 to 3 weeks, like that. Now again, these guys have made assumptions. What is assumption? Installed capacity per annum is 150 million metric tons aloe vera. Then capacity utilization. See here, capacity utilization, year 1 60%, year 2 70, year 3 80. Selling price per unit 60,000 per ton. Raw materials 12 lakh rupees per annum. Consumables and packing material 2.7 lakhs per annum. Power and fuel 12 lakhs. Wages 12 lakhs. Repairs 1.2 lakh. Depreciation written down value method. So there is a method for each mechanism. If it is iron, what is it? It is electrical, what is it? If it's a laptop, how the depreciation goes. There are there with chartered accountants, you will get it. Then all those things. So interest again 13%. So income tax provision 30% on profit. It's a provision, that's all. You don't have to put that much. So then you need to put this machinery suppliers who are supplying machinery. Okay. Financial aspect is here. First thing, term loan 75% of the plant and machinery. Term loan only on plant and machinery, not on the whole project. Cost of the project. So this is what it is. Plant and machinery 28, other miscellaneous is 5, pre-operative 15. Okay, margin on yes, working capital 1.28. So this is what it is. Margin for working capital. Means of finance, capital and term, term loan. So how much among this is yours and how much is from the bank, you can see. Then you have this years, 1, 2, 3, 3 years are there. Then you can calculate all these things I have already shown you. Then we have working capital. Then profitability ratio. So there are some indicators: profit after tax by sales, then profit before interest and tax divided by total investment, profit after tax by promoters capital. So promoters are interested in that. Total sales and total investment with respect to that, how it will come. Then break-even level. There is a formula here, break-even level. In simple terms, break-even level means there are 2 ways of explaining it. One, where you have this no profit, no loss, period, the time at which you attain no profit, no loss, or how many products I should sell that I will recover all my expenses for not considering the profit. If I invest 100 rupees, how many products I need to sell, how many units of my product I need to sell to get my 100 rupees back. That is another way of looking at break-even level. Okay, 54% of installed capacity, break-even point. Okay, if you reach 54% of your whatever installed capacity, like you will get break-even level. So that is what it is. So this I can share it with all of you guys. There are several such models. I've shared the links in the chat box in the morning itself, so you can take it from there. So if Anita is there, she can add some inputs. Any questions? I would expect a lot of questions now, especially from from non-management or non-commerce background faculty.
Sir, unless you practically do it once,
Huh.
then you will
I'll
have
do
a
one
lot of
thing.
questions.
I'll do one thing. I will give you 1 or 2 models, okay? And you assume something. All of you assume that you are going to set up an industry, some processing industry, okay? Somebody wants to use a jam or something. Why don't you do it? That will be good, and you can submit to us, and we can help you to, derive at the best possible.
Then you give us the model of all this, all put together, a proper presentation, how it's done. So
Right.
when you practically try to do it, then we'll have a lot of questions, because now mind is so blank to ask a question.
Okay. Yeah, true. I understand. I can share that.
Sir, what we can do is like we can ask them to do one business project.
That's what I'm saying. Assume that you are starting a business, all of you.
Yes. Yes.
And you can apply this all the 3 documents I'll give you. Okay. You can make the same assignment and submit to us. So today, Saturday, Sunday, you have time, or no, Monday, Tuesday, you can give us. Not a problem.
Yes.
Take up something which are easy to search. So because since it is an exercise, okay, take up something which you can easily get the data.
Yes.
Don't try something because you may not get some data. Like startups is this problem. Startup means they're doing only innovative things. It may not be in market, so you'll not be able to do it. If it is something like a A4 sheet or sari box or a flower pot, something like that, it's easy. Or food processing. If you want to make a jam bottle or jam, right? So that would be better.
So any e-commerce portal is also fine.
Yeah, it will be difficult, but I'll welcome if somebody take a challenge.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Even services, if you want to do services also, it can do. Like,
yes.
Not be producing anything, but you will be giving services.
Service. And how effectively you are giving services when compared to earlier?
Even you can do a project profile on simple internet browsing center.
Sir, I think that will be like too easy.
No, it's not that easy, because how many will come per day, how much they'll browse, and what is the charges. So that's exercise they should do.
Now there are no internet centers.
No, that is the reason I told it.
So what innovation they have to bring in this?
No. They can try with spa.
Yeah. That's a good thing. Saloons and
spa or saloon.
Yeah.
Because a lot of spa and saloons are also getting bank loans. They're not product people. They are service oriented people. But how they are able to get a business? How are they able to project their product? They don't have product. Their product is the service. Like they should say that I am getting 50 haircuts per day. I'm doing 25 shavings or 10 dyes. Then for each haircut, this is my cost, right?
Yes.
So 300 days I work. And these are what are my raw materials. The building rent is my one expenses. The equipment, what equipment I have: chairs, mirrors, and scissors, hair dryer.